All right, 20 minutes after 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. Welcome back in. Jay, Terry, it's Brews Day. Ryan Brewer in the house, the former Gamecock wide receiver, running back, punt returner, kick returner, special teams gunner, team captain, husband, father, business owner, soccer dad, soccer fan, world traveler,
soccer coach,
very good soccer coach.
I don't know about that.
I've seen the records.
Working on
I've
it.
seen the results. Results are facts, not opinions. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
working on it, though.
Results are good.
Gotta get better every day.
That's good. And do they hate everybody when they step in between them?
They better.
Did you teach them? You teach them to hate everybody?
That line is crossed. I don't care what you're doing.
Did you pull them aside? Hey.
Now I'm trying to teach them when you walk into the weight room, I don't care if you even go in there just to ask whoever's up there a question. You better get better when you walk in there.
Well, you can basically show them that right now. Because you're close gripping like 450.
I'm picturing Ryan going before like the board of trustees.
Mm-hmm.
Asking for signage like, I need a big banner that just says hate. And then
everyone.
Like on the other side, like, I hate you.
Yeah.
We hate each other.
You know what it is?
Like, Ryan, we're trying to build, like a collegial fostering environment. It's like, you are.
Hate.
That's fine, but when you walk off there, they can say love everybody. I don't care.
You can flip.
Flip.
Well, like those hologram cards.
Yeah, flips to love.
Like the hologram cards.
Oh,
right?
you know what? This would be good.
On the angle, the vision angle within the lines, it's nothing but hate and anger. But then as soon as you cross over,
it's all beautiful love and flowers. Here's what we need. Brewer comes out of the cockaboose right before the game. Instead of Gamecocks, hate everyone, side to side. How good would that be?
I don't get why not.
That would.
And I don't understand it. Everyone's that's such a like a.
Have you ever?
Such a big
I should know this. Have you ever? You've done the.
I did.
You've done. That.
Yeah,
you've done it a couple times.
Not a great memory. It was that was when Marcus got hurt, Tennessee game. But yeah, that was.
I know you've done that. Well, but back then you weren't as.
They wouldn't let me.
You weren't as hardened as you are now in terms of just hate for everybody. Right?
No, I think he had a lot more hate then.
Okay.
He had a lot more hate back then, Jay. He's mellowed, man.
Now he's coaching.
Hey, by the way,
that's the thing. Like what, and that's what we got to get into this team too. Is when you look in someone's eyes, you can really see, hey, are they there to absolutely dominate the moment they're in or not?
Yeah,
that's something
that's fair.
You can tell. Like when you cross that line, are you ready to dominate?
That's a good question.
Well, the question. Let me throw this to you. To that point, you had a lot of leadership change in that room. A lot of, like, even Shane said you had grown men in there with, like, minivans and families and all that. And there's a huge leadership void that coming into this year. So now that do you feel that maybe that's something, watching this team, that there might be, whatever that intangible is, sometimes it takes a team to another level?
Yeah, definitely. You look at, like I said, we talked about it coming into this year. How are they ranked this high with how many guys they lost? Defensively alone, every leader you can think of is gone. When it comes to the guys that were even the raw guys to the showed on the field guy, they were gone. Special teams, everyone's gone. Offense, the majority of them gone. So it's, you got a Sellers who isn't the most vocal person in the world, but he'll show you on the field how to play. And that's part of it. You can follow a guy there. So it's hard for these new guys that come in, be it freshmen or transfers or whatever, to be a leader unless you can show it on the field. And everyone's like, or even the weight room or practice, and you show how hard it is to work to get to where you are there at this moment. And that's why I think the linebackers, when you had Debo, everybody knows he's just a missile. He's going to go in there and try to kill everything. He hated everything. I guarantee it.
No
you
doubt.
want to kill it. So it's like you love that about him. So like as a if you're his teammate, I want to play with this guy, right? Knight, I want to play with that guy. He was a guy that came in, didn't know anything about him, but all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I like this guy. I want to be like this guy. I want to be next to him. He's going to make me better. So who around you makes you better is the leader, right? It doesn't have to be the guy in the huddle saying the most words or grabbing the face mask there, but because you grab someone's face mask or you do say those words, they have to respect you. They have to want to listen to what you're saying. If you just had a bad play yourself and you're trying to tell me what to do, I'm going to tell you kiss my what.
Right.
I'm going to figure it out on my own. So they got to show it on the field first. If that doesn't have to be game field, it has to be practice field, it has to be weight room, stuff like that, and that's how you become a leader. And I think I don't know if that's there or not. I haven't been around enough to tell you the truth on that. But on the field itself, when you watch them, I haven't seen one guy just be like, all right, that's who they're rallying around.
All right, as a player, And because we touched on it in the open, and Shane's talked about it in post game, talked about it again today. Again, despite a lot of the flaws and the negative play, you were in this game on the road against a good football team, and with 5 minutes to go, you were only down 6. And as you mentioned, you had another opportunity because your defense made a stop. When you're that close as a player, whether you're being coached and it's a Tuesday practice, Wednesday practice, whatever, kind of take us through attempting to get your mind right to go fix those little things, whatever. Now, because the run game might not be it. There could be other things there, but when you
is definitely not it.
No,
it's not it, especially in that moment.
But fixing, but knowing what you mentioned earlier, just man, I got to do that. But they're not. What's going through the mind of a player when it's still not happening?
It's so hard because every moment's different. But if you go to the fourth quarter there, maybe it goes back to the leadership or like a confidence issue thing. It's like
that's what I put yesterday.
Is it because normally if you're in that position, you have Sellers. I'm confident he's going to make a play. Mm-hmm. Was he confident? Was he when it came down to it? Did maybe he things got a little bit too much for him? Where was he mentally after the concussion coming in? Obviously throwing the ball, he's over 300 yards doing it. He did fine in that aspect of it, but he missed some of the key moments, key plays that cost us there. It really did, and he's probably hating it about it. But at the same time, he's like, "Don't, man, you are the rock star. You have to have the confidence. You miss it. You go, hey, man, my bad. I got the next one, because everyone's going to rally around you. And if you're in the huddle and say, hey, that's okay. We're going to get this. They're going to be like, oh, he's got it, type deal. So is that happening? I don't know. It's even a running back. Right now your game is what? Get what you can. Right. If there's a hole there, you better take advantage of it. You better, go find that hole, get your 5-6 if you can. If you can't, fall forward for one. Try to work your tail off. Find a way to make something happen. And if your number's called in the passing game, or receiving it as a screen, as a little wheel route, take advantage of that. That's I think right now that might be our running game. The screens are there, little crossing routes, one-on-one routes we have with the backs. Adaway has another great catch in the game. But if your number's called in blocking, you better damn block somebody. And that's, if you're going to chop him, you don't go for his ankles. You go for his thigh pad, and you rip your arm up, and you make sure that his hands touch the ground.
Right.
I mean, that's again going back to junior high, high school league, stuff to learn. And I'm sure, I guarantee you, Faison's beating himself about that one.
Yeah.
Not happy about it.
No.
He didn't want to miss the block, but he did, and that's a huge steal. We can say
that was a big moment.
You put that dude's hands on the ground. I don't think the play was open either. They did a great job covering both crossing routes. He's got to throw that ball, out of bounds by the pylon. You throw it over his head too much, you're back 15 yards anyway. So he's gambling. I don't know if that's all going through his head or not.
I'm throwing it into row 10 in the end zone.
But he's not out of the pocket, so that's probably that's 15 yards
grounding.
Anyway. So that's probably going through. What do? I don't want to turn it over. I got to throw it there. And that's you have to make all those decisions in a second and a half.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But he can do it. I know he can. But it goes back to the running back. When your number's called, make the damn play.
Yeah, got to make the play. Today's start bench drop, we did have the sounder for that, and I didn't get around to it because we were talking about too many other fun things. Today's start bench drop features 3 big football plays for touchdowns.
All righty.
So, in alphabetical order, kick return touchdown, pick 6, punt return touchdown. That's your start bench drop. All right.
We know.
Well, I was going to say we're
allowed to talk about.
We're sitting next. Well, ultimately you are, but
we already answered one of these. I think you say it, and I'm just like, yeah, sure.
We already pretty much know you.
We know Brewers.
Do you know mine?
Yeah,
well,
I think we do.
I do. You know what? I'm gonna.
You want to guess mine?
No, I'm gonna write it.
You can. Why you can't say it out loud?
No, I don't want to say it out loud. I'm gonna.
No one's gonna believe you.
I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write before we go. Do we need to hit the break?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna hit the break. And I'm writing down what I think Ryan's are, and we will reveal them to the camera and to Ryan on the other side.
You know he's going to go opposite of you now. You know what's going to happen here.
Don't show me. You shouldn't show me.
It's a very mysterious Brews Day on the postgame show. All right, football season now well underway. The best way to watch the game, well, of course, it's in a ballpark near you. But if you can't be there for a variety of reasons, well, then the really other best way is to get an amazing home theater system from Integrated Media. Just one call, they come to you. House calls, that's right, just like the old days, but listen, brand new stuff. They'll install the latest in 4K technology from Samsung, the new frame TVs that look fantastic when they're not tuned into your favorite game or show or whatever else. You couple that with the Dolby Atmos surround system all throughout the house, and it's like you're part of the action. You want to go outdoors? They've got next-level equipment that looks and sounds like the indoors, but built to be outside all year long, even here in the South. That's right. Samsung Terrace TVs, amazing Sonos outdoor speaker systems. They can even do in-ground subwoofers to really thump the neighborhood. 803-948-8327. One room, whole house, indoors, outdoors, Wi-Fi that works everywhere. Nobody better than Integrated Media.
Yeah, I do, John. We got a lot of guys that care. It's a different style, if you will. I mean, it was that was a special group last year because you had some grown men last year. D Knight, Debo, Tonka, Boogie.
Oh, that's it. Sorry. I thought there was more to that. Welcome back
That was the
in.
edited version.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
He names more guys.
Sorry, yeah, I was like, I heard that whole thing. Welcome back in, Jay, Terry, Ryan Brewer with you here on this Tuesday or Brews Day edition of the program. Got a start bench drop out there for you. Again, it always feels like it's been a while, but it hasn't. It's only been since last Thursday. But today's start bench drop, big football plays for touchdowns. Kick return touchdown, pick six, punt return touchdown. Again, I give you the choices in alphabetical order. That's not my way to do it. Do you want to see what I put for you real quick?
Yeah.
You want me to?
Yes. You say
tell
yours.
his, and then you can
say
show
yours.
Obviously, I'm going to go with special teams. So, yeah, the pick six is as great as it is because it's usually a game changer. That's going to be
That's
on
your drop.
my drop.
Your drop. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had to juggle these two a little bit.
Sure.
I love a punt return touchdown.
Yeah.
But a kickoff return touchdown usually means it's the beginning of the game. It's after they scored, or it's a half. So you're right then and there. You're changing the momentum of the game, or you start the momentum of the game.
Okay.
So I'd have to start my kick return, bench punt return. It's a soft bench though. It's a very soft bench. They're coming in. They're coming in hot.
Well, then I lost.
Yep.
You take punt return?
I said punt return, kick return. I knew you would drop the pick six.
Yeah. We knew that was happening.
But I just figured because you so love the punt team.
I do. And I love the punt team. I love punt return. It was one of my favorite things to do, but I still think.
See, I think you saw what I put.
I may have.
Yeah, well, if he saw it, he'd gone pick six start.
I know, right?
No, that's because then he would have known that I was messing.
Right.
No, I knew there was no way he was going to choose a pick six.
Now, I'll ask you, would you rather return kicks or cover kicks? Because you loved hitting people.
Yes, rather the first play of the game. I want to be covering the kick.
So you
That's
can
what I'd
knock
rather
the
do
snot
that.
out of
'Cause-
somebody.
and it gets me going too. I can hit
Right.
something. I get going. Nowadays they just run down there and go wave to the fans.
Right.
Hey,
Different world, man.
Yeah, so I like run down there, probably hit my own teamate just to like
Just to hit
And
somebody.
the NFL play is
dive over the bushes and just hit the fan and just like hey.
the NFL play is dumb. I'm sorry. I don't.
That weird kickoff
I don't
thing?
like it at all. I don't. I know they want. I'm like, well, yeah. If I can't even start running until you start running,
The whole thing's so goofy looking. Now, again, kick returns are up a ton now because of this, but it's so goofy looking.
I don't want
It
any.
really
I don't
is.
want any. They need to have for the rule book and record book. Record book. Excuse me. A clear delineation.
From
that
the old
this,
days?
Yeah, none of these count the same anymore ever. Because it's. I'm sorry. It's just start on the 25. It's just dumb.
It's just.
I don't. I
it's
can't
very
stand
weird.
it.
It's
I
very
can't.
weird.
But after the NFL on was it Sunday or first games, the 1 o'clock games.
Yep.
All the extra or the field goals being
blocks,
blocked.
yeah,
and all
man,
at the same,
yeah.
all at the same time was going
Dude,
on.
that was the most exciting red zone
was
of
phenomenal.
this, certainly of the season.
I mean, I think it had some kind of record of the
well, there was 3 in about 6
Well,
minutes.
it was insane. I mean, the Eagles got 2. Second one, George. How about a 330-pound dude running almost 20 miles an hour?
He was moving. That has to
Man.
be. You put that on the list. That's number one for a lot of guys, especially the
Yeah,
linemen.
sure,
and all that stuff. That's-
fun. Well, I can only do.
Yeah.
I should have. Yeah, no. Oh well, that was anyway. I don't like the NFL kickoff.
It's just weird to see from. I don't hate it, but it's just bizarre to watch because everybody's standing.
They're
there
just
like
standing
that.
there.
and then they kick and.
If there's one thing about this sport that is good is that once there is a ball in the air or something. I mean, that's the thing about football. At the start of every play, it's just mayhem for 5 or 6
That's
seconds.
what it should be. It should be
and instead
mayhem
it's
for
like
5 or 6 seconds.
Oh,
I think you should have to return every ball.
You know, I think
matter where it
No matter where it goes, it has
Pick
to
it up and
return
go.
unless it goes out of bounds.
Think if it
or
were like
through the
Pop
end- or
Warner.
through the end zone.
Think if you did that in Pop Warner, right? It'd be like the kids would be like, "Ooh, look at the ball. Ooh, there's a bird.
Right.
Oh, hey,
Butterflies.
Oh, you know that
Butterflies.
Billy, run."
Well, I'd say the thing too that gets me still is this ridiculous onside kick rule.
Yeah, I don't like.
Hey, Ryan, we're going onside kick.
Yeah.
What the hell are we doing? Yeah, I tell you, I know the NFL won't do it because they've screwed
Syracuse
the onside
would have
kick
loved
so
that,
bad.
right?
I love one of those spring leagues does instead of the onside kick, you get the ball at your own 20 or 25. It's like a 4th and 15.
It's a 4th and 15.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a 4th and 15. And,
That's
and if
cool.
you make it, good for you.
You get the ball back,
Yeah.
and if not,
But
you get
it
the ball
is.
up.
But the onside kick is one of the especially a surprise onside kick. That's
Beautiful.
one of the coolest things.
Well,
that you guys-
I hate to say it, but the best onside kick I've ever seen executed, and you might know where I'm going with this, was that Thursday night game with Auburn here, when Auburn they got the ball to open the third quarter, scored a touchdown, and the kid executed it to
it
better
was the
than
best pass
perfection.
you could ever hit somebody.
And Auburn, South Carolina did not possess the ball in that entire third quarter because of that
You had onside kick?
amazingly executed. And I was just like, you know what? Sometimes you just tip your cap.
Well, the famous onside kick was the Saints in the Super Bowl against the Colts to start the second half. That's I'm with you, Ryan. I love the onside kick, the surprise element of the onside kick, and they've sucked it out of the game. It's the dumbest thing ever.
So go back to the Clemson game. They obviously watched film. These guys leave early, and they did. They took 3 steps back before they realized, oh crap, he just dribbled one down the middle. That's coaching, that's preparation, and then that kick is not easy.
That's execution,
and the
man.
execution was phenomenal.
Well, and sometimes it's just dumb luck too, right? Because that's that pointed ball bouncing that certain way.
Not if these guys.
Well, I get it. Yeah,
they can do so much with that football.
I know.
Now. It's
I know.
crazy.
Yeah, they do. All right, let's come back around. Let's stay again.
I like this. This is fun.
I know. Well, it is more fun than
Special
some of the
teams.
things, but we do have to get to it. But all right, so run game. All right, what this weekend, and Shane made a point of this too, and Terry and I talked about it yesterday. Kentucky and South Carolina games are rock fight kind of games, and that's Mark Stoops prefers that.
Yeah,
Mark Stoops is a defensive-minded coach. They played pretty good defense against Mississippi a couple of weeks ago, so you expect them to come in here knowing that South Carolina feels somewhat one-dimensional in the sense that Lenoris can throw deep, but other than that, what are they really doing? So how is South Carolina affecting Kentucky this weekend? What if you're
Scrapping the run game altogether. Blackwell and Coach Elliott said, you know what? No more run game.
Center, QB, 9 wide receivers.
But I say that, but we need to play action. So you got to at least, you're not scrapping it all together. You're still going to fake the run game. No, I mean, this is it's tough because I look at it and I don't know what you do if I am Blackwell, I'm in the running back room. Like, how do you coach these guys? Hey, what are you going to do when?
is this scheme or execution or both?
I think it's a little bit of both, but right now the execution, we're not getting a push at all. Like we're getting blown up in our own backfield, and that's so hard. With the mesh of most of these, even in shotgun, the mesh of most of these things are 3.5 yards back. And if your O line now is getting pushed a yard back, you have 2.5 yards, 2 yards max to make a decision where to cut, read it. Even though the play's supposed to go this way, but that's not there anymore.
Right.
So you're just throwing all that out of everything you practice on this play. It's not there, but you have to establish. And I'm not trying to go to your Nebraska analogy, but you got to establish 1 or 2 things. What Missouri did, they're really good with the stretch, zone read outside, and a stretch. And if we have to be somewhere, what are we really good at doing? Find that 1-2 play. You don't have to kill it in the run game right now, but you have to at least enough where they're biting on it.
Yeah.
For some reason, Missouri kept biting on that. I mean, even any play action, those linebackers were flowing 2-3 steps. That opened up the plays in the middle, on the play action. Go back to RPO, but I'm just wondering. Are you protecting Sellers just a little bit, with the concussion and stuff? He had a couple design runs, but go to RPOs where he can read it. When they did those zone reads, did reads like that, he made some plays. 4 or 5 yards is still a great play right now for where we are.
Yeah,
in the
absolutely,
run game.
absolutely. And Terry and I mentioned that yesterday. That maybe Saturday, they were indeed, hey, got to be a little more cautious here.
Maybe, but I would really love to see 16 get the ball and just run someone over. It hasn't happened yet this season.
Amen.
You remember where at the beginning of last season, he slid early a couple times, and all of a sudden everyone got on him.
Right.
And then the next time he just trucked the dude. No,
right.
But then it was on. Like I said, then now he's breaking tackles. He's running. And DBs were scared of him. Right now he's run out of bounds. He's, it looks a little timid. Like I said, Shelv himself's that's not the truth, right?
But I know what you mean.
But it's not the Superman. The cape's off right now.
Right.
He maybe the glasses maybe are not on yet, but he doesn't have the cape on. He hasn't gone totally into the phone booth. But it's the time where a couple of the sacks, I've never seen him fall like that.
Yeah.
Like they're coming at him and he tucked. Normally it's going to take all of you to bring me down type mentality.
We'll wrap it up with Brew on the other side, the Tuesday Brews Day postgame show. All right, welcome back in. Jay, Terry, Ryan with you here. And before we do anything else, we always want to thank the great sponsors on our radio station, including the great sponsor that allows Ryan Brewer to be here each and every Tuesday during football season.
How great is that sponsor?
None other than Ryan
Best
Brewer.
sponsor yet.
And Ryan Brewer Fence.
Yeah, man. It's been a privilege and a pleasure. I was trying to mix those two words there together.
You did well.
To be able to sponsor my own segment here. So it sounds kind of
Self-serving?
self-serving, but it is.
But it is. That's the whole point.
I've been. How long have I been here doing this Tuesday show?
Oh, geez, man. I don't.
Long time. It's been a long time.
Over a decade. I'm
finally able to get to a point where I can sponsor my own spot. So,
it's longer. Well, because you started coming in the old place.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's a long time ago.
that was a long time.
That was
ago.
a long time.
So, but go Ryan Brewer Fence. So RyanBrewer.net. You see all our work for any fence you need, commercial or residential. Any ornamental fence, your vinyl, privacy, wood privacy, any of that stuff we can do for you. Temporary fence for all your construction sites. We can take care of you. Again, been doing this for 20-plus years. So got a great team that goes out there every day, and they don't hate everybody. They actually they love everybody when they go on the site.
Your crew,
And,
I keep saying, your crew that was at our house. They were fantastic.
Yeah,
They
really,
were
really
absolutely
good people.
fantastic.
Been fortunate to surround myself by really good people, and that's how you become successful. So
Yeah.
I enjoy almost every moment of it. Can't say. I don't want to lie.
Almost.
I don't want to lie, but when I'm there, these guys and ladies are kicking some tail, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah. And wall art.
And so it's that season's coming up, and some wall art, and especially if you are a Winthrop fan too, we have some Winthrop stuff that's will support the women's soccer program.
Nice. You want to say why? Just so people understand.
Yeah, well, my daughter's on the team there.
There you go.
So and
Your dad. Dad stuff.
that stuff.
Love it. All right. So final thoughts. Again, rock fight. Terry and I weren't really joking yesterday. Terry said Mark Stoops would leave here giddy with a 2-0. You know,
They have a stud running back too. They're going to try to control this game. If he's watching this, he's saying, "Well, I could break that many tackles too." He can't because he's not. I don't think he's as good as Missouri's running back, but
Right.
he's good. So they're going to try to control the clock as much as possible. Field goals are probably wins for them, and try to. The one-dimensional offense we have is shut us down. Every game we played against them in the last, I don't know.
Well,
seems
Shane
like
mentioned
forever.
it.
It's been a
All the games, the winning team's offense in the last 10 games has scored 24 or less.
Remember last year they got over 30 because
Carolina had a defensive
So
score.
look, we get 25, we're good.
There
That's
you
all you
go.
got to
Correct.
get. Get 25 points, we win this game. So that's what we're going for, right? I'd really love to see the offense open up somehow and put the ball, in the end zone, obviously as many times as possible, but just get some confidence. This is going to be a rock fight, whatever. It's going to be like a bar brawl. It's going to be one of those. There's going to be chairs over the head.
That's just
bottles
hard to
broken.
feel. It's hard to feel more than 17 offensive points right now.
South Carolina's only scored, against, besides South Carolina State, hadn't scored over but 20.
Special teams coming out. It's time. We haven't had a punt return in
It's time.
in 2 games.
2 games.
That's right. What's up with Vakari Swain?
Yeah, what happened to him?
Yeah.
Pick it up, Swain.
Let's go, Bob. You only got 3 touchdowns. Let's roll.
But you got to make the other team punt more too, perhaps. Huh?
That's part of it.
Yeah, that could help a little bit.
It's a game of adjustments.
Make tackles.
Right? It's a game of adjustments. You got to adjust now.
We have to adjust something and not have penalties. Adjust something and tackle the ball carrier, and then and have the turnovers in our favor again. We do that, we're fine. And that's going to be the telltale of the whole season.
Well, here's hoping. I don't know if you put it into the must-win category because it's September, but
Must win for if
but it
you
depends on
wanna-
what you-
for just confidence for just because it's the next game. It's one of those strap it on. You have to win. I mean, it is for anything goals you have ahead of you. This is definitely the quote unquote Jay Phillips must win.
Jay Phillips must win.
Yes.
I think they need this football team needs a little pregame speech from Ryan Brewer about hate.
Yeah. Just put it everywhere.
go down there and make
Yes.
something up, man.
Yeah, just-
I just saw Mark Stoops. Do y'all know what he just said?
Be like Michael Jordan.
But you don't even just make it up
stuff
in your
up.
own mind. That's
Yeah.
what. That's all you got to do. Look in the mirror, figure it out.
How many times you make up a good amount of hate for something?
Oh, I hated everything. It was there.
He hates John Cooper.
You better believe
Appreciate
it.
you as always. All right,
I
good stuff.
appreciate you, man.
That's Ryan, 21 Brewer, to follow on Twitter. RyanBrewer.net for all your fencing and wall art and so much more. Another Brews Day in the book. Thank you, sir. Hour 2 of the postgame show coming at you.
Check on the traffic. A few accidents so far in Lexington. Disabled vehicle, Highway 60 near North Lake Drive. Accidents, I-20 westbound near South Carolina 277. That's exit 73. I-20 westbound at Monticello Road. That's exit 68. I-20 westbound at I-26, exit 64. And Sunset Boulevard at I-26.
4 o'clock on this Tuesday. Welcome back in. Second hour of the post-game show coming at you from the Herndon Chevy Studios in downtown Columbia, along with Terry Ford. I'm Jay Phillips. Thanks, as always, to our good friend Ryan Brewer for hanging out for a Brews Day edition of the program. And with Ryan kind of in mind, we had our start bench drop today. 3 exciting plays for touchdowns in football in alphabetical order. The kick return touchdown, pick six, punt return touchdown. Got a few already on Twitter. Weigh in with those, and we'll get to a few more in just a little bit, or you can hit us on the Firehouse Subs text line, 803-404-6100. Sometimes I know what I'm going to drop. Mm-hmm. Today, I don't know what I'm going to drop, but I do know what I'm going to start.
Oh, really? Okay.
I do know what I'm going to start.
Yeah, this one's tough. Because, I mean, I thought Ryan made a good point. A lot of times it was about the specific situation of the game.
Sure.
So I think it was kind of cool to throw that in.
Sure.
This is a tough one. I'm like batting this one back and forth going, yeah, that pick six is really cool, depending on what, but that punt return, that kickoff. This one, I got.
I can think of unique times, whether it's Carolina football or just in watching in general, where each of them have been pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And you've had a few.
I'll tell you, man. When Xavier Legette returned that kickoff return against A&M a few years ago at Williams-Brice at night, that place almost exploded. The only time it's been louder that I've been there is when Rocket Sanders scored that touchdown.
Last year
against Missouri.
Yeah.
And he
broke like 100 tackles.
At least 100.
That was a crazy touchdown.
That was crazy.
That whole sequence, like that was wow. Yeah.
It was something, wasn't
it? That really between.
It was interesting because again, here's how when you have Ryan talked about confidence. Missouri scores, right?
Right. And not just scores, but
yes. I mean,
big play.
Yeah, big play. And but the first thing you do because of your confidence is you look at the clock and you go like this. Oh, 16's got time.
Yeah.
And the way he played that day, the way Sellers played that day, 5 touchdown passes.
5 scores.
And you sat there and you went like this. They can get back down the field. You aren't going, oh, they'll definitely score, but you go like this. They can get back down the field. They got plenty of time. And excellent drive, and Rocket Sanders bouncing off like 20 different people and getting himself.
He wasn't going to be denied. One of those plays.
He was not.
Let
me throw a question at you.
Okay.
Now, again, I know offensive line's very important.
Yes.
But how much did they miss the tackle-breaking machine that was Rocket Sanders?
Yeah, I was asking Ryan that off air, actually, and we touched on it a little bit on air, too, I suppose. I asked him, is it sometimes just that simple? And he said, it could depend, basically, but maybe this year it's more about getting the push. And you've talked about that, too, with the offensive line and the analytics that tell you that they're just not getting that.
And you think about it, Jay. The opposing defensive front is resetting the line of scrimmage in your backfield, bro.
So you've got to, and that's the thing, I suppose. And Shane alluded to it. You can't look. And tomorrow, Mike won't. You can't give anything away. But you've obviously, at this point, I think you've got to. You are who you are personnel wise, and you've got a few guys banged up. You're going to have to find a way to affect things differently from a schematic standpoint. That's one reason I asked Ryan, is it scheme or is it execution? And again, I may have been covering football a long time, but I will never, ever claim to be any kind of play calling expert, right? But do you have to find a way to create more space? Do you have, or Ryan made a great point. Maybe the screen game becomes the run game. And so many NFL teams do that when they just know, you know what? We don't have that line or we don't have that guy, but we will create the opportunity in space out in the flat. And can South Carolina trust the running backs to go catch the football? Do you have your slot guys line up and then maybe take a step back and hit them? Some ways to just spread a defense out, because you and I keep talking about it. If you don't have to keep them honest, listen, I think most defenses, we saw it last weekend. If you say to them, hey, South Carolina can't run and Lenoris himself isn't running, are you comfortable with Lenoris throwing a bunch of deep balls?
Yeah.
And going and trying to go 4 quarters with that.
Yeah.
And I think most teams will sign up for it, believing that the percentages over time will be in their favor. And I'm not telling you that that's what Missouri set up to do, but it is how the game unfolded. And when you do look back, because we don't have enough of a sample size with the Vanderbilt game, we do have a pretty good sample with Virginia Tech. And regardless of what we now think of Virginia Tech's team, you saw how they set up, and let's face it, it was a couple of big plays, and one of them, should have been a touchdown and didn't get called, and one of them was a touchdown, and Lenore's had his run to open the game. But other than that, what have you really seen? And then again, I don't want to sound mean, but like Carolina screwed up a bunch on Saturday, and I mean, again, you're on the first and goal too, man. You gotta score.
You gotta score, and it's like it feels like we're and you hit it with you are who you are right now, but that's who you are right now. You see how teams are playing you. You saw at Missouri. I mean, they're basically daring you to throw the ball down the field because, first of all, we're going to spy your quarterback. We're going to stay very disciplined in our rush lanes. We're not going to give him any daylight or space. And we're very confident that we can beat your offensive line. What are you going to do to counter that now? You said screen game. Or do you also do you force teams to lighten the box by playing maybe 4 wide receivers and now they can't load up the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, something
This is about adjusting to what they're doing to you now, Jay, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is okay because all we ever hear from the people who know a hell of a lot more than you and I is the football is a game of adjustments. Okay, great. Well, you know what they're doing to you now. How are you going to adjust to impose your will? Is it a screen game? Is it spread them out by, setting 4 wide receiver sets? Are you now going to maybe try more rollouts, more bootlegs where you're putting them in run-pass situations? That's about Sellers. What are you going to do to counter what they're doing to you? Because you got to do something because the way they're playing you can't efficiently score. You have to rely on explosive plays and chunk plays to do anything. And it's like a lot of stuff, man. When you just depend on those things, and if you're not getting them, you don't have much of anything.
Yeah. So and we see that. By the way, official kick time listed as 7:55 for Saturday night.
Okay, 7:50.
Unless somebody typed in the wrong number, but I guess 7:45 is like a TV thing.
Yeah.
And then they like to show 2001 and stuff.
Oh yeah, because it's cool.
Yeah. No, it is.
Absolutely.
They
Get
should
a
keep it.
little,
Yeah, they should
sandstorm in
keep
there.
that. They should keep that.
I think you should show it because that is such a fantastic pregame hype.
I kid as I say they should keep there's no discussion of dropping it. I don't want somebody against.
I thought you meant the TV people.
No.
dropping it.
I meant
Oh, you
Carolina.
meant the
I meant
stadium
Carolina. They
dropping
should
it.
keep that. Yeah, they should keep that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
It's fun. It's so
What's
hard.
an extra 10 minutes?
It's so hard to believe how long they've been doing 2001 now. Like I because I remember the first time it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I was a little kid. It was the 80s, man. And we didn't know what was going on. I'm sure somebody knew somewhere, but most people didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And no Twitter back then to let you know.
There was no Twitter in the 80s?
No.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I was
like caveman
I was
time.
like, what's going on here? This is kind of cool. What's happening? I think I was 13 years old.
I tell you, that 2001 and you got the cockaboose thing, you throw in the sandstorm. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
As the kids say. Well, they really don't, but it's a scene, man.
It's a scene, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire. Fire, dude.
Speaking of questions, and I'm going to joke and move on real quick here. I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Tyler and Gunner when I walked in. Who's got 2 thumbs and pulls for the hottest team in the National League?
This guy.
This guy.
You're Braves, man.
9 in a row, baby.
I tell you, you know what? If the regular season was another 3 months long or 2 months
Just
long,
give me about 3 more weeks of this
Where
kind of
they're going,
baseball.
man.
Not that they're going to win every game. And you know what? The thing is, now I'm almost going to be disappointed if they don't finish on a whatever game winning streak because you're hosting Washington and Pittsburgh, and you won't see Skeens. Like, you got to win every one of these games.
because here's the thing: God love the Pirates because they have Skeens and some nice young starting pitchers, but you can give the Pirates 6 outs an inning and they still can't score runs.
No, I mean, I'm not really kidding, man. I mean, I think the Braves. You need to sweep the Nats, and you need to sweep the Bucks, and you need to, and then the regular season's
and
over.
honestly, if you're the Braves, just don't hit the ball to Jacob Young.
Well,
Have you been seeing this lately?
yeah.
Dude's making all sorts of plays out in the outfield.
Or you can hit it to him a couple times. Just hit other places too, the way they've been doing things. But we'll see. But
honestly,
nine in a row.
They've been rolling, man.
9 in a row.
They've been rolling.
And they beat Cleveland and Detroit. Swept Cleveland and Detroit.
Well,
who, by the way, are fighting each other. So it isn't like they're just beating the Nationals in this.
And Detroit is almost ready to pull the greatest choke job in the history of divisional baseball.
Yeah, I feel bad for those fans.
I like them because they've suffered so much. I'd love to see the Tigers not choke. There's a team in the National League. It's also pulling a humongous choke job.
The Mets.
Who?
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, the Metropolitans are trying to pull the choke job.
I'm pulling for them.
And well, right now they're doing good work.
Choke City, baby. Whatever. Where are they today? Have the Reds?
It's a tie with the Reds.
The Reds have caught them, right?
Yeah, the Reds have caught them.
It excites me so much.
Hilarious. It's hilarious. You know what it is? They could have $1 billion payroll, and they're still the Mets.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's, you know what? And I know it's long gone, but it's probably because all of those years where the Mets and Jets shared Shea, that there's just something.
That stink?
Yeah. Even though the Jets now play, 15 miles away. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, the Mets only play across the street. They just built they built Citi Field into parking lot.
Right.
But that's what it is, man.
There's something in it, man. There's no doubt. It's crazy how no matter you change coaches, you change players, you change front offices, you change even ownership in some ways. Yeah. And you're still the Mets.
Not gonna lose a lot of sleep over that one, Ter. All right, couple of things to get to here, and then we'll get back into some stuff from Shane. Poll question. This was running since yesterday, but want to run it by you again. Being reported now, of course, that Carolina will see Georgia, Florida, and Kentucky as their annual opponents over the next 4 years, starting in 26. And I even put in there 2 of those schools will likely change coaches between now and then. Mm-hmm. But Carolina fans, are you good with these matchups? A, sure, love it. B, not my top choice. Or C, nope, that's pretty tough. A lot of you voted 77% love it. 19.4, not my top choice. And just 3.6 say, nope, that's pretty tough. And you'd rather have something completely different. So continue to weigh in. We'll run that one through the end of the program. And again, today's start, bench, drop, big score, or big plays for scores, kick return touchdown, pick six, punt return touchdown, start, bench, drop, those 3. We got a lot to get to. Big news around college football nationally. We'll continue to discuss and more of what Coach Beamer had to say. It is the Tuesday postgame show.
College football, as we all know, has changed in a very, very dramatic fashion, and it's really not the old college football. This is a paid game, okay? So whether I agree with it or not makes zero difference. It's like being in an argument with your wife and you know you're right. It makes zero difference. You're wrong. You might as well just get over it, give in. Things are going to be much smoother.
It's a good analogy. That's Coach Mike Gundy. If you have not yet heard, unfortunately today, I won't say sadly, but unfortunately, Mike Gundy was fired today after 21. Well, he was in his 21st season as the head coach at Oklahoma State, his alma mater. He played there. He was an assistant there. He was the head coach there. Again, Brett McMurphy put out that 35 of Mike Gundy's 58 years on this planet have been spent on the campus of Oklahoma State University. That's a lot, man.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And old Gundy tells you right there what side of the fence he's on about the new world of college football, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you that I'm right, that this is not the way it should be, but you're my wife. It doesn't matter because I'm wrong.
Well, and look, right and wrong here are just way too subjective.
Yeah, absolutely.
I keep coming back, and I'll use I guess not the stat, but since we're a sports station and show, why not? And Terry, you've heard me say this a bunch, and I know Elijah and I talked about it a bunch while we were working together. And I'll generalize a little bit. But the year Carolina and Arkansas joined the Southeastern Conference, and I just use that as sort of a line of demarcation. The entire Southeastern Conference, 12 schools back then, shared $27 million, which, if adjusted for today's inflation, is around $60 million. Mm-hmm. So about $5 million per school, all right? In today's money, that's what people shared back then, about $5 million per school. Today, 16 schools of the Southeastern Conference got about $55 million last year. Mm-hmm. So, in other words, inflation has changed by a little more than 100% in that 30-some years. But revenues into the Southeastern Conference have gone up well over 1,000%. Yeah. I mean, so that's and look, I know other things cost more money too, but a lot of the things that stay kind of, inflationary adjust accordingly. Coaches' salaries have gone up. Mm-hmm. I get it. When Lou Holtz became coach here, he wanted, and I kid a little bit, but he basically wanted two things. Number one, he wanted $1 million salary. Mm-hmm. Number two, he wanted to be a member of Augusta National.
There you go.
And luckily, the chairman of Augusta National at the time had played football for the University of South Carolina, and it made it a whole lot easier to welcome Lou as a member over on Washington Road. So anyway, my point is, there's more than enough to share with the young men and women that are bringing those revenues in. People tune in. People don't tune in to watch a coach on the sideline.
Look at Mike Gundy's mullet.
Every once in a while, it's kind of a cool thing. But by and large, you are still there to watch players score touchdowns, kick field goals, block punts. That's what you're amazing quarterback sacks off the edge. That's what you're watching football for.
Look, nobody says, hey, let's go to the game and watch the coach.
No.
It doesn't happen. Look, Mike Gundy, an interesting character, there's no doubt. But he didn't like the new world of college football. And look, that's your right. But there are a lot of people who are competing with you who are totally down with this or have come to grips with this, what they have to do.
Yes.
And if you
acceptance,
can't,
I think.
Yes, acceptance. And they're now using it to beat your brains in.
Yeah.
And if you truly don't like it as much as you're saying and being vocal about it, then, you made a lot of money. You got to coach your alma mater for 21 years. You took them to a consistent level that no one's ever taken them. You are always going to be revered. Now it's time to take your money and go home. If you can't do this, then don't do it. It's to me, it's that simple.
Right.
Sometimes you got to be self-aware enough to look up and go, "Oh, Mother of God, I can't win here." And he kind of said that in that quote, but now it's too late. You fought this to the point of where you really put your football program at a disadvantage. That's why you cratered the last 2 years. So now it's just too late. The Oregon week was just not a good look.
Well,
it just wasn't.
And you and I talked about this earlier, and I don't know. Look, I can't ever get into anyone's mind. and maybe one day later, Mike Gundy explains more of what he was trying to do. But was he in that moment? And for those of you who don't remember, Mike Gundy, in so many words, basically said, hey, we're not here buying a football team the way they are, and they've spent so-and-so, and we have just whatever, and there were a lot of us, I know you and I, kind of went like, hey, bud, about 10 years ago, you had a gajillionaire give you a gajillion.
Mm-hmm. Right.
At least some of his gajillions.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody heard you complaining back then.
Yep. And now you're saying, wow, they spent all that money. We only spent this one. They got way better players than we did. We didn't spend that much money on players.
And you can't help but think that, because let's face it, A, you're going to get beat, and you might know we're going to get whooped. And yeah, not that, again, we also had some fun at their expense when we said, hey, if I gave you 65, if I gave you Oklahoma State plus 65,
I still win.
You still don't win. So my point being, did he set us all up for just the realization of where things were in the moment to some degree? Again, not 69 to 3.
I think that's what he was doing because, the only thing about that to me, I would have done it like this. You see how much money they spend on players? It don't matter. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna whip them.
Yeah.
We're gonna go at it with them. He never said that. It was more of like, "Woe is me. Oh, poor me. They spend all that money. We don't." He's almost subliminally saying, "We're going there and get smacked." You understand that, right?
Right.
So I'm setting you up for the smacking we're about to get. It almost feels like either you're at a talent disadvantage, whatever. But now, if I'm a player on that team, I'm like, that's what you think of me, dude?
Yeah.
I'm only here because that's all you could pay me. How much did you lose your locker room that week?
I don't know. How much had he? Here's the thing: how much had he lost his locker room last year and couldn't refill
already,
it?
right.
This season, and maybe because of who he is. Listen, let's be honest. If he's not someone who is so attached and had been so successful, I don't even think he gets the opportunity to start this season.
I don't disagree because when you give money back, what does that tell? When they take money from you, what does that tell you?
And look, in 20 full seasons, he had 8 of them were 10-win seasons.
He was a good coach.
He was really good.
Yes.
I mean, he was really good, and they're never. God bless them. They know they're self-aware enough. We use that term a lot. They're self-aware enough to know we're never going to be our in-state rival. We're just not. But they always were able to punch pretty hard. Mm-hmm. They did get some talent. It's just you just couldn't match that. So here's the thing. I don't know how hard, when I say how hard they tried, I'm sure there were times back in the day when they were like, we need to be as good as them. Mm-hmm. And maybe at some point you realize, probably not happening. Well, but you can at least stay in the game.
Well, you beat them sometimes, and there were times you were on the cusp of winning the Big 12, which could have taken you to the college football playoff or whatever. So Gundy had them really close a few times, but they just couldn't finish the deal. And they never sniffed heights like that. And even though they don't have anywhere near what Oklahoma has, they still stood there in the ring with them a few times and knocked the hell out of them.
Yeah, they did.
And remember, Oklahoma's last game of the Big 12.
Yeah, I know, man.
Oklahoma
That's
State
still crazy. Still crazy.
Smacked them.
Yeah, still crazy.
And so.
But it's a lot like Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what Oklahoma State had under Gundy, not saying you'll never have it again, but 18 straight bowl games, Jay.
Yeah.
And some of those were like New Year's Day type of bowl games.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking here. 2011 Big 12 title, won the Fiesta Bowl over a very good Stanford team, and finished number 3 in the country.
Yes, I mean he had years and moments.
That's the pinnacle. But 8 10-win seasons. 8 10-win seasons.
And what we remember him, people around the country remember, I'm a man, I'm 40.
Yeah.
And then how this thing has ended this year.
Which was year 3.
I know.
That's what's crazy.
I know.
That was year 3.
So
which shows how long he's been around,
yes, man. So I mean, it's a shame it went down like this, and it's a shame that it all crumbled because, again, was that a hill you really want to die on? I guess.
I guess, yeah. And I think it isn't as if those around the school, the president, the AD, were like, oh, maybe Mike will change everything about how he feels. No, that wasn't going to happen either. Look, I think because of who he is and what he's done, again, you don't want to go out this way, but everybody kind of saw this coming.
It felt like it, yeah.
And I think, look, he and Mrs. Gundy, they can, he can get to an argument with her about where they should go on vacation, since he was mentioning that.
Right.
Wherever she wants to go, Coach.
She can't win.
I know you probably don't. He'd probably rather go to some beach and play golf than go to like Paris or London.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to take him to Paris and London.
Yep, absolutely.
Or whatever.
By the way, how is he going to fit in?
In Paris and London.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, walking around the Louvre.
Yeah.
How funny would that be?
So as long as they have steak. They have steak. They're served a little differently, but he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll make it work, and then he'll be on TV somewhere. I think
he'll end up doing one of these studio shows.
He'll be very good at it too. I'd rather see him, honest to God, I'd rather see him out than in a studio. So get him on game day, get him on, the Fox show, create something for him.
He's got like a kookiness and a
he needs to be out with people. He does not need to be in a studio.
I think if he's smart, he just doesn't have a taste for what goes on today in college football. Go take advantage of who you are.
Yeah.
Right?
You made a lot of money. Again, go. And you know what? Take Mrs. Gundy to Paris, and then take Mrs. Gundy to, Acapulco, and then you got the best of both worlds.
There you go.
And then get on TV. He'll be fine. All right, more what Shane had to say coming up. It's the Tuesday postgame show. All right, soon enough, we'll be spending some more time outdoors. Gets a little chilly at night, and the folks at Palmetto Propane are ready to keep your nights outdoors nice and cozy for you, your family, and friends. They've got gas lanterns, generators, fire features, fire pits for the outdoors, and so many other things that can really keep you nice and warm. Or the inside. Maybe you've got that wood-burning fireplace and you're tired of restocking the wood pile or all the bugs and everything that goes with it. Instead, maybe you see one of today's very modern, very convenient gas fireplaces. And you can see all of these things and more inside Palmetto Propane's Hearth and Patio Home Store showrooms. They've got them in Batesburg. They've got them in West Columbia, in Lexington, over in the Aiken-Augusta area. Lots of great stuff that you can see, feel, touch, and really understand how it can make your life a whole lot more comfortable. Stop in and see them real soon. They've been helping families across the Midlands and beyond since 1959. Visit palmettopropane.com.
All right, first check on the traffic. We have a few accidents. I-20 westbound has a couple. At South Carolina 277, that is exit 73. Also at Monticello Road, exit 68, I-20 westbound. In Lexington, Sunset Boulevard at I-26. And in Lexington, Shore Road at Irvin Price Road. Old State Road at Old Wire Road. Lady, right near Assembly in downtown Columbia. There's an accident as well. We'll come back. Breaking news in the SEC involving a highly ranked team's quarterback. That's next on the postgame show.
All right, welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you. I promise you we will get back to sound from Shane, but we do have breaking news out of the Southeastern Conference, and this is a pretty big deal. Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer is going to have surgery on an injured thumb on his throwing hand, and Soonerscoop.com, which is the On3 site that covers Oklahoma, is reporting that he will miss at least 3 weeks, maybe more. George Stoya is the reporter for Sooner Scoop. He says OU and its medical staff have been working to find the best course of treatment to ensure Mateer returns healthy and in a timely fashion. The university confirmed the injury and announced that Mateer will undergo surgery tomorrow. Says Brent Venables in a statement, quote, "After consulting with medical experts, it became clear that surgery is the best option for John and his short and long-term future. He's extremely disappointed he will miss some game action, but is eager to correct the issue and move forward. As he is with everything, we know he will be aggressive with his rehabilitation and work to return to the field as quickly as possible. If he misses the next 3 weeks, he could potentially come back for the game with Texas in Dallas. And that's rather optimistic.
Yeah.
Now, I believe, let me see here. They've got a
Kent
game.
State.
They've got Kent.
Auburn.
They've already they just beat
They got
Auburn.
Kent State. They got a bye week.
Are they off this weekend?
I think this is the week they're off.
Yeah.
And then Kent State and Texas and then South Carolina.
So it seems more likely, if everything says that this is what it is, that he comes back for the Carolina game.
It feels that way.
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't say how severe it is, other than they now know this. And I was like, wait, what? Because I was watching some of that game. He apparently got hurt early, but overall was 24 of 36 for 271,
game-winning drive.
And so look, a lot of guys, obviously, you play through it, and sometimes certain injuries, as we all know, don't actually get worse until your body's just kind of sitting there, and it's like, well, it hurts a little bit.
Adrenaline.
And then the next day, like, oh,
right.
my thumb is twice as big as it's supposed to be.
My thumb is as big as my head. Like Fred Flintstone.
Man, I remember when I fractured my foot and it was a long time ago. But like the day it happened, I was like hobbling along, and the next morning, I was in 8th grade, 9th grade. Anyway, I remember it was a Friday. It was like the last thing at school that day. And I remember Saturday waking up, and my mother was like, so my foot was, dude. And so anyway.
Oh, I had one. I just located my finger playing basketball. I was playing ball. I had a ball hit off my finger, like on the top of my finger. Yeah. And my finger went in 10 different ways. Yeah. So I just pulled it and kept playing.
Right. And then the next day?
And the next day, my finger was big as my leg.
Yeah.
And it hurt like hell. But when you're in the middle of it, you got the adrenaline and that dead, the blood's flowing.
And your body's like, you're fine.
Oh, that's what I did. I just pulled it. I remember I was telling this friend of mine, she's like a nurse. And because she saw my finger, she said, oh, my God. I said, yeah, I dislocated it yesterday. She goes, well, what would they say to you at the emergency room? I go, I'm supposed to go to the doctor? What the hell is wrong with you? I was like, I pulled it back. It's in place. Look.
Yeah, look, it's fine.
She's like, you're an idiot. I was like, I'm not going to argue.
So, I mean, I suppose in the grand scheme,
They'll start Michael Hawkins, the kid that started last year.
Yeah. In the grand scheme, they're gonna be. I mean, again, they're gonna be okay because the Carolina game is the 20. No, it's the 18th. Okay, never mind.
All right, let's say.
So they're off this week. Yeah,
Right.
so that's great.
Then they get
and then
Penn
they again
State.
can't. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
But the Texas game obviously is a huge deal.
And I feel like he'll miss that. That's a little quick turnaround.
If they're saying 3 weeks or more, I guess it just depends on exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, I
is
saw
something
that-
fractured and they're just going to go reset it and put a little pin in it? I mean,
the CBS Sports Report said they're optimistic he'll be back sometime this season.
yeah.
I mean, okay. So if you ever have a Michael Hawkins start against Texas, good luck. Even Michael Hawkins starting against South Carolina. Remember, South Carolina basically just they beat up.
Yeah,
Hawkins.
he was shell shocked.
And he was shell shocked. There was interceptions and turnovers, and they were hitting him. And I mean, so if you got
They'll need to beat Texas with defense if he can't play by then. But I would expect. I mean, again, he should.
South Carolina's a 50-50 if it's what they're saying right now, but we'll see.
I'd say he's back for Carolina and Texas. And again, we have. I want to look. We're no doctors.
No, here's a tough thing. No one who knows anything about anything is saying what it is right now, right? So if, like you said, if it's something that you do surgery and he can take a couple weeks and then come back, okay, great. He might be back for Texas. Or maybe South Carolina, or if this thing lingers longer, who knows? And look, Michael Hawkins, God love him. He's a year older. He might be a year better. You got a new coordinator in Arbuckle. Maybe the offense is more quarterback friendly. But that poor guy.
Well, you've got. I mean, the point I was going to say here is if you have to do this, look, you never want anybody to get hurt ever. But if you're going to have an injury like this, to have it come now and surgery where you must have downtime, then to have, first off for his rehabilitation, a week off, and then Kent State,
Which,
again, there's a super bonus, but also in terms of ramping Hawkins up in this offense with the first team this week with an off week where you can just be you. And again, I'm not trying to disparage, but maybe I am. You're going to beat Kent State.
absolutely, you're going to be Kent State.
So, and you don't have to worry much about that, but you can, and Hawkins can play the whole game. And hey, we're just going to rep you, man.
As I was going to say, the good news is you get to play a whole game. You get a lot of snaps. And this offense, to be fair to Michael Hawkins, this is a much more quarterback-friendly offense than what he was running last year when South Carolina just, beat him beat him all over the field pretty much. And he got benched for Jackson Arnold in that game, remember?
I do.
I mean, he got curb stomped for about a quarter and a half, and they finally got him out of his misery and put Jackson Arnold in there to get whooped. This offense is much more quarterback-friendly, much more versatile, and maybe Hawkins will be better. But losing John Mateer is a big thing.
Yeah.
It just absolutely is.
It is. But like I say, as I look at their schedule, if this was going to happen, this was the most ideal time for it to happen.
Because here's your thing. You get a mulligan or two now in this new world we live in, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you lose the game through, whether it's Texas, South Carolina, whoever. If you can get Mateer back for this run, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, LSU, all ranked.
Mm-hmm.
You want Mateer back for that run in a perfect world. So if you got to sacrifice maybe a loss to either Texas or South Carolina.
All right,
Yeah,
Pete Thamel just reporting as we are speaking. The injury is a broken bone in his throwing hand. Pete says his OU sources say 1 month recovery.
Okay. All right, so
that puts him. Carolina game is iffy, and Mississippi in Norman is more likely if the 1 month is true.
because think about it, if you go a month, you got Ole Miss and Norman, you got to do roadies to Knoxville and Tuscaloosa, then you get Missouri back in your barn, then you finish up with LSU coming in. If you can get him back for that run, especially now that we've heard that, then that's probably your best case scenario if he's going to be out a month, right?
They said estimated 1 month recovery after surgery. But if it's a broken bone, so they'll set it tomorrow, do whatever they do. And listen, there are some orthopedic surgeons that are magicians these days.
Yeah, they're not bad. So, I mean.
And he's young.
We'll see, man. I mean. Can you throw left?
What stinks for him, and I'm serious, is that as we speak, and yes, it's still September. So listen, he's won the Septisman.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But he was rolling, and now this could well keep him from winning the Heisman Trophy because he simply will miss 3 or 4 games.
He has been everything Oklahoma could have hoped for.
Absolutely. Oh, and then some.
Yeah, I mean, it's been this. I mean, again, let's say he misses 3 games. If you can find a way to navigate 2-1 in these 3, I think you lose either to Texas or South Carolina. That you have to use a mulligan, and then you can try to navigate the rest of the season with Mateer coming back, and you've got a gauntlet, my man.
Carolina fans, you'll know what I mean when I say this. I'm kind of bummed because I when kids like this come into your place,
it's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch. That's one of the things I've loved about big time football in my life is you get to see the other guys too. So this is unfortunate. All right, more details on the John Mateer situation and throughout the afternoon. Lots to do on the postgame show. All right, welcome back in. It is almost Jay or Nay time here. Jay and Terry with you. Coming up top of the hour, headlines of the day. We got a lot of them. I'm going to have to race through these. We have a very busy Tuesday in the sports world, locally, regionally, and nationally. And I'll just say this so you'll make sure you stay tuned. During the news, I will talk about robots.
Nice.
Yep.
By the way, we got a special text message on Start Bench Drop.
Okay. Who's it
We're
from?
going to get to. Some guy named Ryan Brewer.
He's already been here.
He changed his mind.
He didn't change his mind on.
Yeah, he switched it up.
Jeez. That's not how it works, Ryan.
No, let's see.
You get one shot at this, man.
Start bench drop, all situational need to make it where it's your first touchdown of the game or the game-winning touchdown. So basically, it depends on the moment, according to Ryan Brewer.
Yeah.
Now he's changed everything up on.
Yeah, no, that's no.
He's changed everything up on us, man. You know
No,
what?
he did. He did
Obviously-
kick return, start, bench, punt return, and drop pick six. That's what we're going.
Basically, once you said it, it's done.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So his analysis of the situation.
Well, that's not the way this goes, man.
I'm not here for that.
Well, he didn't do that when he was here.
No, nor did he air quote.
Now he's trying
like
to
I just
train.
did.
And that was pretty impressive on the video stream. Your air
Appreciate
quote
that.
was good.
Thank you.
Because you know what? To truly understand the sarcasm behind that, you needed to see the air quotes. Am I wrong?
I use air quotes too much, but I can't help it. I know some people. It drives some people crazy.
Does it dry like? Does it
People
bother
that use-
Sonny?
I
After
don't-
all these years,
No,
how many hundreds of thousands of air quotes has she seen? Probably.
I don't know that I air quote around her as much. Mike Gundy's usually right, so I don't really have time for.
You know what? You know what's funny?
I don't have time.
He is right.
I
My
don't
God,
have-
he's right,
I
man.
don't have time for that.
No, not at all.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
All right.
All right, ready? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You
Yeah.
know what?
But anyway, start, bench, drop before Terry plays the music. Start, bench, drop today. Again, 3 big football plays for touchdowns. And if you want to situationally do it, which some of you have, take Ryan Brewer's advice. Kick return for touchdown, pick six, punt return for touchdown. Alphabetical order is how we give them to you.
No, see, you can't. No, because Ryan Brewer's breaking the rules of what we
He's
do.
bending the rules.
No, that's snapping the rules because he's not saying start bench drop at all.
No.
he's just going in a situational.
It's situational analysis, and I'm not here for that.
No, so we just have to basically say no. We got to stick with your original.
Yeah.
And you can't bend
Which again,
the rules.
Ryan's
of,
original was kick return, punt return, pick six, start, bench, drop.
Here we go.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Jay or nay? I'm looking at some of these candidates so far to replace Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State.
Okay.
There's some interesting ones. I think one that's very interesting is Texas San Antonio head coach Jeff Traylor, who knows Texas like the back of his hand. When he was in the high school ranks, he's been very successful at UTSA. He's interviewed for some power gigs. That's an interesting one. But that being said,
Okay.
what I'm seeing in early candidates,
Yep.
no Power 4 coaches. If you're the ADJ in Jay or nay, are you going after another Power 4 coach if you're sitting at the Oklahoma State athletic director chair? Jay or nay?
Sitting head, you mean sitting
A
power four?
current Power 4 coach. You're going to go poach somebody's coach? It's going to cost you some money.
I mean, that's a great question, man. I'm going to say nay, but I'll give you a caveat. If Kurt Signetti was about 20 years younger, I'd say, dude, I know you're having fun in Bloomington, Indiana, but they don't really care. We do, and we'll pay
You
you.
care a lot more.
I just can't think of anybody else in the Power 4 where Oklahoma State, because otherwise you're probably not. Where are you in the Power 4, right? Like that's my question.
I think that's why I'm seeing all these candidates. I'm not seeing a Power 4 coach because maybe.
I was thinking, would Brent Pry be a good choice for them?
Maybe, but would he?
But he's not. I mean, he just got fired. So
Yeah, and I mean, for an example, do you look at the guy's doing a hell of a job at Georgia Tech? I mean, would he leave and go there? What would you leave that situation to go to Oklahoma State because you feel like is that a step up for you?
No.
That's my point. What is a step up for Oklahoma State to a Power 4 coach? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and even Kurt Signetti. I mean, if it whoever it was, you're in the Big Ten.
I mean, that's just it. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah,
It really is a tough thing.
but the UTSA guy, that's intriguing. Does he have
Brewer.
any Power 4 assistant experience? I'd like to know that.
I don't know. I know he was a
Like,
high
have you
school coach
recruited in the big
Texas.
game? If not, you can hire people that can. I'm just curious.
Yeah. I got to look him up to see if he was an assistant somewhere in the Power 4.
Okay.
All right. Jay or nay? The New York Giants are planning to bench quarterback Russell Wilson and go with first-round draft pick rookie Jason Dart. Good move, Jay or nay?
Jay. Yeah, it's time. Russ, it's time.
What does that say about the Dallas Cowboy pass defense?
That's not very good without Micah Parsons.
Russell Wilson destroyed them.
Yep.
And then you saw the other
Micah.
two games.
Well, I mean, one guy like that, he's a game wrecker.
If you look at the stats with Micah on the field for Dallas and off the field for Dallas and their pass defense,
He's a game wrecker.
totally different ball game, man.
But, hey, they can stop the
They can stop the run. Oh, no, they can't. Yeah.
All right, guys, when you're not feeling the way you used to, bedroom, boardroom, weight room, out doing yard work, or sitting around just thinking, man, what was I supposed to do today? It could be time for you to see Dr. Dan Blocknight and his team at the men's clinic, because these things naturally occur. They don't want you to be embarrassed, but they also don't want you to just skip out on it, right? There's a lot of guys that, I'll just tough it out. It'll be fine. My dad never went to the doctor. I'll be fine. Don't do that. Or, again, you're embarrassed because some of these things are very personal. They get it. That's why you get a one-on-one consultation. They get to know you. What isn't that just isn't happening for you? Because it could be a whole host of things. Don't pigeonhole it to one thing. There could be a lot of things going on. And they'll be ready to help you out. 803-875-MENS. That's the phone number. Set up a free consultation and see the medical experts that care about you at the men's clinic.
All right, checking out the traffic. We had some accidents last report. See if we got anything cleared up yet. No, we got more. I-20 eastbound Bush River Road, that's exit 63. Westbound on I-20, we still have a couple. At South Carolina 277, that's exit 73. And at Monticello Road, that's exit 68. Downtown Columbia, Lady Street at Assembly. King Street near Divine. Old State Road near Old Wire Road, also there's an accident. And Lexington Shore Road at Irvin Price Road. And Two Notch at North Grampian Hills Road as well. 5 o'clock news coming back here on the post-game show.
It is 5 o'clock news time here on a Tuesday. Welcome back in. It's also the final hour of the postgame show along with Terry Ford. I'm Jay Phillips. Gamecock head coach Shane Beamer speaking earlier today. South Carolina remains a 6.5-point favorite over the Kentucky Wildcats. Game time around 7:45 on Saturday. We'll have more from Shane for you coming up in the Gamecock notebook here in just a few. But there is breaking news in college football for those of you just maybe getting into the car after work today. This is SEC news, and it's serious. Oklahoma starting quarterback John Mateer, who in many people's minds has become the leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy so far this season, will now miss around a month, not certain exactly how long. He has a broken bone in his throwing hand, and it will require surgery. He's going to have that surgery tomorrow with a specialist in Los Angeles who has worked on, amongst others, Steph Curry and Drew Brees. So they are sending him to someone who has truly worked on the very best in their sports. Pete Thamel of ESPN reports that this will be about 1 month where Mateer will be out. The good news for Oklahoma is that in that 1 month time, they are off this weekend. Next weekend, they host Kent State, so he would not at all be needed for that one. On the 11th, they go to Dallas for the Red River game with Texas, and then on the 18th, they come here to Columbia to take on the Gamecocks. So if you kind of look at it, and 1 month-ish is about where he is expected to return, then you would think he's back for the South Carolina game. Again, we do not know at this point, and that will obviously depend on how the surgery goes and how the rehab goes. From what Pete Thamel reported, Mateer's surgery is rather straightforward. So I'm sure they'll give us a full update. He's going to have it again tomorrow out in L.A. So sometime tomorrow night or maybe Thursday, we will find out how the surgery went and then what the prognosis is for his return. He did continue to play on Saturday against Auburn. He hurt it in the first quarter, so he continued to play the entire game, including that game-winning drive in the fourth. So whatever it is, it's serious enough to warrant surgery in the middle of a season, but maybe not so bad that he obviously, just had to come out, and it's going to be it for him for the season. So we shall see. But once again, Oklahoma starting quarterback John Mateer having surgery tomorrow, expected to miss around a month. Even one optimistic report said maybe he could be back in time for the Texas game. That feels really optimistic because the last thing you need to do is aggravate something. But maybe that following week to be back for the game here in Columbia, a game that we imagine Oklahoma has circled. We shall see. Speaking of broken bones, as we continue our integrated media headlines of the day, really bad news for the Atlanta Braves. Ozzie Albies and the Braves, of course, have been red hot of late. Ozzie has had a very strong second half of the season. However, yesterday he fouled off a pitch in the third inning, and it is now known that it is a broken hamate bone, and it's the same left hand, wrist, hamate area that he broke last year, and that a lot of people feel really contributed to why Ozzie was in just not himself at the beginning of this season. Said Brian Snitker last night, quote, he felt something in there that was an impingement. And then the head trainer said that's kind of your hamate area. And today they have found out for sure that it is that bone indeed. Again, he fractured a wrist and missed 2 months last year, so this is another major injury to that same left hand and wrist. This year, he has played in every single game. And the numbers aren't great, 240 with 16 dingers and 74 batted in, but he has had a really nice second half of the season. So this is a blow for the Braves, who have won 9 straight. And, again, have a real opportunity to close out the year on a big winning streak because you're hosting Washington and Pittsburgh, who are not good, and you won't see Paul Skeens. Snitker said they think that Albies will undergo surgery, but they do not know yet.
What a crap year. I mean, you struggled and struggled. You got it together after the All-Star break, and now you got the hamate thing, which that's a weird injury, man.
It is, man.
It's tricky. Some guys can come back from it quick. Some guys takes a while. Some guys, it's like they never did it. Some guys,
right.
It lingers, and you're just not the same.
Well, and a lot of, and for so long, like that was a misdiagnosed injury I've read about, that they weren't quite sure what it was. And now that, just with better orthopedics, they understand. But from what Snit says and what the team has said, if he does have surgery, he should be fine by spring training. But, yeah, it's just, again.
Everybody's different with this injury.
Well, and you and I talked about him, because Ozzie, for a more diminutive guy, I don't want to call him a little guy, but any of you that are Braves fans or just baseball fans, you've seen Ozzie is not Ozzie hits a lot of home runs for a man his size. And he's a switch hitter, and he's got pop from both sides of the plate. But this season, again, I think that injury, the rehab, I think it just lingered. I think there was pain, and now this is going to add to it.
He wasn't right.
He wasn't. There's no way.
It's one of those things where he wasn't driving the ball.
Right.
And that was a problem. When you see a guy that typically can drive the ball, not driving the ball, and it's that obvious, he's not healthy.
Right.
And then finally he got healthy.
Yeah.
And he had a nice post-All-Star break, and now you get this.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll be back fine for spring training. Hope he's one of those that he can move forward from this injury.
Tough break for Ozzie. Braves and Nats go at it again tonight. Again, Atlanta going for its 10th straight win. And young phenom Hurston Waldrop on the hill, 5-1 with a 3.04. Brad Lord, righty, goes for Washington tonight. So go Braves.
There you go.
That's all I'll say. Go Braves. Before we get to Shane, I got one more thing to give you. Major League owners, I said I was going to talk about robots.
Okay.
So
let's do it.
It's coming. It's
Good.
coming. Major League Baseball owners, according to the Associated Press, voted unanimously to. Oh wait, it's the wrong one. Sorry, I got the. No, I got the Rays one here. Hold on. Here it is. Well, they did approve unanimously for the Rays to be sold. So that was I clicked on the wrong story. Now
that's okay.
Here we go. Also, Major League Baseball will implement a challenge system for balls and strikes next year, and it will usher in the era of robot umpiring.
Good. I'm in, man.
According to Jeff Passan, they will have a big robot that looks like the guy from Lost in Space with his arms swinging all around.
Warning, danger. I think the umpire, like the manager comes out to argue, warning, danger.
It would actually be so incredibly spectacular.
I would watch games just for that.
And if you don't know what that is, then go look it up.
Go look it up. You can YouTube Ready Robot from Lost in Space.
Yeah. Or if not, then maybe C-3PO.
Or how about the maid robot from the Jetsons?
Rosie. Mm-hmm. Rosie was her name. Yeah. But anyway, following years of testing in the minors, Major League Baseball says that they will move ahead with this. Again, it is for balls and strikes. You will get 2 challenges per game. Here's how it works. Hitters, pitchers, and catchers will be the only ones allowed to trigger the system by tapping their head. And if a challenge is successful, the pitch will be shown in stadium, and teams will retain the challenge, again, if it is successful. While the vote was not unanimous, because some of the players on the committee voted no, pitchers maybe, all the owners that were there were in favor, and they have the majority of the seats on this particular committee.
So everything you just said was Teacher from Peanuts, because I'm just getting that mental picture of the robot from Lost in Space behind home plate.
Danger, Will Robinson.
You know what? Honestly, I'm for this because I tell you what, man. Umpiring.
Okay, here's
my thing with this.
Go ahead.
Everybody loves a human element till it screws them over.
Yes.
Ask the Detroit Tigers what they think of the human element when you got the.
I know.
When you get blown up. And by the way, there are some umpires that are so god awful behind home plate I mean, you still can't get over
Eric Gregg.
Eric Gregg.
It's been almost 30 years.
And you never will get over it. It'll be on your tombstone, sir.
Because the Braves should have gone to the World. The Braves should have gone to the World Series that year. But I digress.
I used to be human element guy. The more I've watched this, I'm get it right guy. And the strike zone is harder to call today than ever because of the velocity and the spin rates on these pitches.
Yes.
I think you need to bring that now again. You can still have an umpire foul balls.
Here's what I want. I'm with you. What I don't like is that this is a challenge system. Now we're going to slow the game down again.
That's a good point.
If we want to do this,
do it right and put
just
a robo umpire like the U.S. Open. In tennis.
Just
that's what I want.
Do it.
That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I want that.
But I don't. Do I need a hitter?
With you on the
you missed that one, Blue. Only twice a game. Every guy's going to tap their bleeping helmet.
And by the way, what's the miss rate with bad umpires in strike zones? More than 2 a game, right?
Yeah, I mean, Well, according to hitters, certainly.
Well, and there are, if you ever see these, there are guys
or pitchers for that matter.
There are people now who go out there and they grade these umpires and they put it out on social media by using the box.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you can whatever about that, but the miss rate is more than 2 pitches a game or 4 pitches a game. But I'm with you. If you're going to do it right and go for it. Don't just give challenges.
The commissioner says, I commend the Joint Competition Committee for striking the right balance, pun intended, preserving the integral role of the umpire in the game with the ability to correct a missed call in a high-leverage situation, all while preserving the pace and rhythm of the game.
No, to your point, it doesn't because you're going to challenge. And you get 4 of these a game between teams.
I can help you preserve the role of umpires by keeping them at all 4 bases and calling plays at the bases.
Right, they still have to call safe out at home plate, and they can still call foul tips. If the robo umpire can't call a foul tip catching a catcher's mitt, you still have an umpire, right?
Yeah.
There will be a human umpire at home plate that managers can argue with.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Can I be honest with you? That's all I'll miss. I'll just miss the arguments with the managers and the home plate umpire.
Teams that run out of challenges will be granted an extra challenge in the 10th inning, blah, blah, blah. We'll see. Again, just go to the whole system.
But this is
or if not, then put a robot out there.
Can I be honest with you? This is pure baseball right here.
Yeah, I know. Baseball can't get out of its own way.
I love them, and they can't get out of their own way. I do. I love baseball.
And yet somehow the NFL can do stupid stuff like the kickoff thing, and they're fine.
We look at the NFL. I have one of my little my thoughts in life is the NFL is the perfect guy at the school, right? In high school, he's the perfect guy. He's got the perfect teeth, the perfect hair. He plays sports. He can sing. He's perfect. Nothing he does is wrong. Even if he does something wrong, it's not wrong. Everybody goes, well, it's cool. Ooh. Yeah. Baseball is the guy that can't do anything right. The greasy-haired kid with the zits who is, he's in the AV department. He gets in gym class and everybody laughs at him. He gets wedged on a fence. He does something right. Nobody gives him credit. That's what baseball's become, the punching bag of sports, right?
Kind of.
And you know what? When they do stuff like this, they help push that narrative of being the punching bag of sports.
And then you do this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our integrated media headlines of the day. We got a lot to get to from Coach Beamer's press conference, how to get things fixed and turned around quickly against a Kentucky team that plays good defense. You'll hear from Shane when the postgame show returns. U.S. Brick wants to remind you that vinyl belongs on your records, not on your house. Pick Brick when you are building your home. The original set-it-and-forget-it siding with the longest winning streak in history. Give or take, U.S. Brick says about 9,000 years and counting. That's why builders respect it, neighbors notice it, and why the buildings that matter are built with it. Head over to US Brick's brand new exterior design center at 300 UG Street over near Founders Park and explore all the premium materials that they have for you. Many of them made right here in Columbia. Brick, natural stone for your home, fire pits, outdoor kitchens, pergolas, walls. They've got everything you need to make your home and its surroundings look so much better. Open Monday through Friday, or you can call to book a time that works best for you. Make it happen with our friends at US Brick. Time for our Gamecock Notebook on this Tuesday. Welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you. Drive around the SEC coming up. Remind you tonight, the SEC Network has its primetime special where all 16 schools of the Southeastern Conference will know their opponents for the next 4 years in football. We already know the 3 annual opponents. Again, the conference not using the word permanent.
Nope.
Because some of these are permanent, and we already knew they would be. You know, Georgia, Florida, Georgia, Auburn, Bama, Tennessee, et cetera, Oklahoma, Texas, and now A&M and UT again. But others aren't. But you will see everybody home and away over a 4-year period.
Which is cool.
But how exactly that works with who you play, where and when and how and all that, it's going to be interesting because they got like Carolina, Clemson, and Florida State to work into the formatting.
Yep, well, Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, and even Kentucky and Louisville. And hey, thank God Kentucky and Louisville are still going to play.
Woo!
Because for a minute there, Kentucky was like, "Oh,
we can't do that.
We can play Louisville. We're going to play 9 conference
Can't
games."
do that now.
Oof, that's a lot.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, nobody's more annoyed with all this than Stoops.
But anyway, real quick, too, because we're going to get to more of them, and a lot of you have sent them in. Thank you. I always appreciate it. Anytime you interact with us, we appreciate you. That's part of what we do here. We're here for you guys. Start, bench, drop today. Big plays for touchdowns in football. Again, choices in alphabetical order. Start, bench, drop, kick return, touchdown, pick six, punt return for touchdown.
I'm still bouncing this around my head, man.
Again, I know my starter. I am 100% on my starter. There's no wavering.
No wavering?
My starter is as solid as Lenora Sellers is as a quarterback in South Carolina.
Good. Look at you.
Yeah.
Mine's as solid as Russell Wilson as a starter of the Jets.
He plays for the Giants, so you're way off. Shane Beamer speaking today ahead of Carolina, Kentucky. Gamecocks just under a touchdown favorite on Saturday night. And nobody wanted to be 2-2, right?
Nope.
And you kind of thought you'd probably be, at worst, 3-1 right now. Probably 4-0 in a lot of optimistic minds. Here's Shane on handling the 500 record.
Excuse me, dealing with some trials right now, but we're full of good cheer. There's no question about it. And don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that we're happy about the way that we've performed the last 2 weeks. That doesn't mean that we're full of good cheer because we got outrushed 295 to minus something the other night at Missouri. But it does mean that I'm extremely blessed and grateful to get to do what I get to do with who I get to do it with, these players and coaches, each and every day. Saturday night was a long night, and it was a long return trip back. We sat on the runway in Columbia, Missouri for way too long waiting to take off, and I didn't walk into my house in Columbia until after 5 a.m. on Sunday morning, and slept for a couple hours and woke up and was right back in this building with excitement about getting back to work and excitement about seeing the players later that afternoon. And had a good day on Sunday, building on the positives from the other night, and there were, the way that we threw the ball, we've got to continue to build on that. The fact that we did not turn the ball over offensively, we got to continue to build on that. The fact that we got stops in the red zone on defense, there's some joy in that, and we're going to continue to build on that. The way that William Joyce came in and kicked pressure field goals, we're going to build on that. The missed opportunities that we had on special teams is disappointing, but we're going to build on how close we were. The fact that we played like garbage in so many ways, but we were leading going into the fourth quarter. And just imagine if we can get all this other stuff fixed, which everything is fixable, how good this football team can be. So,
listen, all of those things are, I think, spot on. And I know some of you will be a little more negative, cynical, critical, and that's fair. I'm still asking questions about how this team figures out how to run the football if you're going to stay in the same schemes, because I think so far you have just not been able to. In fact, I know you haven't.
Yeah.
And so there's that part of it, but he's not wrong about how close they were, and that was our theme yesterday. Is despite how, I mean, it felt at times like you should have been losing by, like you were against Vandy.
Yeah, look at the stats of that game, whether it was rushing yards, time of possession, total, whatever it was. You sat back and you went, how are you leading this thing going
because
into the fourth quarter?
And to his point, because you were making some big plays, you were getting stops, you were slowing them down, and you it's so many things that you beat yourself, and they're close. And I'll say again, I'm not here to be a cheerleader. I can be negative. I was pretty harsh yesterday, at least for the fourth game of the season. But last year, this team was 3-3. And that's one of the things you and I talked about, because, when I didn't push back on you, but you mentioned, well, last year everybody's just so excited because they were 9-3. I was like, at one, you were 3 and 3.
Well,
and people were like, what the hell's going on? This isn't,
Here's the interesting part. I was breaking this down today. The 3-month cycle of Shane Beamer's tenure. Now, September, you'd want to take away the FCS games and the games against junior highs and stuff, but you're 9-8 in September. October, you're 5-8. And the last 2 years, you're 1-5 in October. But November, 13-4 in November, and 8 of the last 9. Yeah. So for some reason, and I'm sure Shane has tried to figure it out, why his team starts so slow. But the flip side is, in November, you don't want to touch them. You don't want to play them because they're really good in November. Why? Who knows? But right now, this is kind of going the way that Shane's teams go. If you beat Kentucky, which we are hoping you will,
better.
You should.
You better.
You're going to walk out of September 3-2.
Yeah.
But then the problem is you've really had some tough time in October. Well, you got to do a little better in October because November is when you really start to hit the gas. But the problem is, like last year, you had a couple of winnable games in October. You didn't finish the job for whatever reason, and then you got into November, and you're behind the 8 ball now.
Right.
And it's great what you do in November. I tip my cap to what they do in November. But the problem is, Jay, is when you have some struggles in those first 2 months, now you're playing from behind. But to go to what we talked about, yeah, this is kind of like normal operating procedure. If you get out of September around 3-2, this is kind of where it's been in Shane's tenure.
Give me cut number. I was going to do 6. Let me move ahead to 7, Terry. I think that's more fitting for what we're talking about.
6. I'm doing 6. We got 7.
We got 7 ready to go. Shane asked today, all right, what can you fix that's ailing you by Saturday night?
I mean, there's plenty, and again, we have what we have, Jack. We have our plan to win, like a lot of people have, and for us, that's run the ball, stop the run. That's win the turnover battle, win the explosive play battle, play smart football, which is penalties, and then dominating the fourth quarter. Dominate the fourth quarter, meaning you win the fourth quarter. Play smart football, meaning you have less penalties than the other team. Run the ball and stop the run. That's yards per carry. Win the explosive play battle. That's a run over 12 or a pass over 18. And then win the turnover battle. That speaks for itself. So every week, you can go back to game 1 against Eastern Illinois back in 2021. If we do that, if we just do, I think it's 6 things that I just named. If we do half of those, we typically win every single game. And we didn't do anything the other night other than win the turnover battle. And I told the team going into it, if we, the last 2 trips that we've gone to Missouri, we haven't won the plan to win enough of it. And we didn't the other night. So to me, go back and do that. And if we can be a little bit better and do more than just winning the turnover battle, then we're going to feel pretty good on Saturday night.
Think about that, dude. They were 1-5 going by that criteria.
Yeah.
And they're leading this thing going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, run that through your skull.
And that's why I say we can sit here and beat them up, and there are things that they need to be criticized for, and it is fair to ask, well, why haven't you figured that out? What is it that you can't do in the run game that you need to do differently, or whatever the questions are? Why are guys taking the wrong angles on defense? Why are you missing so many tackles? These are very legitimate questions, but they're all. I keep saying it, they're you problems. This isn't because, and we did enough to say, going back to the Vandy game, that Tim Beck and Vanderbilt, I thought, had a nice game plan and did enough to keep Carolina a bit off balance. Now, personally, I believe Missouri came at you more straightforward.
Yeah, they basically said Ourans are going to beat Urans.
Yeah, and they were, but if you had done, and again, you look at a couple of things, like we keep saying it, because it was the pivotal moment. I mean, you mentioned the Vandy game, pivotal moment, the interception early, pivotal moment against Mizzou, first and goal at the 2. You got to get, and
that's the play.
You got a 250-pound quarterback, you got to score a touchdown.
And you and I had
instead
this
you go 20 yards back.
Yeah, I mean, so many of these games, because they're so close, there are moments. And you got to win the moments when games are so close. And in the Vandy game and the Missouri game, you lost the moments.
Yeah, and that's what it came down to. So, look, can they? Yeah. Will they? Ask me again, around midnight on Saturday. But you better. You better. That's all. You better. All right, drive around the SEC on the other side. A few more from Shane in that as well. We'll update you again. If you haven't heard about John Mateer, we'll do that for you. And we'll go over our poll question on annual opponents coming up in football. Not permanent, but annual. Drive around the SEC is next.
All right, check on the traffic. We have accidents. Fish Hatchery Road at Pine Ridge Drive. Garner's Ferry Road near Highway 769 Congaree Road. There we go. Hard Scrabble Road near Summit Parkway. Also I-20 eastbound to Bush River Road, exit 63. I-26 westbound at US 21, US 176, exit 119. King Street near Divine. Also Old State Road near Old Wire Road. Two Notch at South Lake Drive and Two Notch at North Grampian Hills Road. We'll come back, drive around the SEC, and your chance to win cash is coming up before 6 o'clock as well here on the post-game show on the game.
All right, it is Drive Around the SEC time. Welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you. Again, breaking news today out of the Southeastern Conference. Not good at all for Oklahoma, as they have announced today that starting quarterback John Mateer, currently the leader in the clubhouse for the Heisman, yes, a long way to go, will miss about a month with a broken bone in his right hand. That's his throwing hand. He suffered it in the first quarter against Auburn, but did play the entire game and did lead the Sooners on a game-winning drive late. This is from Jake Trotter of ESPN. He says Mateer is scheduled to undergo surgery Wednesday in Los Angeles. Dr. Stephen Shin will perform the surgery. He is considered one of the nation's leading hand and wrist surgeons and has worked on Drew Brees, Steph Curry, and Mike Trout. And once again, Brent Venables saying, quote, after consulting with medical experts, it became clear that surgery is the best option for John and his short and long-term future. He's extremely disappointed he will miss some game action, but is eager to correct the issue and move forward. As he is with everything, we know he will be aggressive with his rehabilitation and work to return to the field as quickly as possible. Again, Oklahoma is off this weekend, which is, again, if this was going to, Terry and I looked at it earlier, but we'll repeat it. If this was going to happen, and you never want it to, it could not have happened at a better time in the grand scheme for Oklahoma based on how their schedule is built. Again, they're off this weekend. Next weekend, they host Kent State. So then they go to Dallas to take on Texas in the Red River game. Then they come here to Columbia. About a month, if everything goes really well tomorrow and he can rehab and be ready, maybe he could play against Texas. And certainly by then be ready for South Carolina. If it's about a month, then it feels like South Carolina is maybe the more likely return. After that, they have Mississippi. So, you know, who knows, Carolina fans. I would, if I'm the Gamecocks, I'm certainly believing at this point that John Mateer is going to be quarterbacking the Sooners when they come to Williamsburg.
You got to plan that way, right? I mean, and you know what I love about those, because I read the stories that you've been reading too, and they got world-renowned orthopedic surgeon. Who are you getting? Leslie Nielsen from Airplane? I mean, of course you're getting a world. You're going to get. No one's going to say, well, you know, we just kind of went through the phone book, or we went through the internet.
Yeah. I guess what they mean is, and I'm sure there are plenty of great orthopedic surgeons in the Oklahoma City area, but
right.
You know, they decided to send him to Los Angeles.
Yeah, they're going to go to L.A. to get a dude.
Yeah.
Because this guy's a dude. I mean, he's worked on professional athletes and everything else. But I always love them to go, we got the best guy we could possibly. Well, why wouldn't you? Right. That's like you go to the doctor. Jay, who are you going to? I don't know, it's some schlub. Just some guy.
No, I get it.
Yeah. But honestly, in all seriousness, if you're South Carolina, you got to prepare like he's going to play. Because he might.
If you're Texas, I think you better, right?
You've got to prepare for Mateer. I mean, nothing against Hawkins, but you're preparing for John Mateer. Mm-hmm. And unless by that week they say he's out, and then obviously you look at Hawkins, but you're really preparing for the number one guy, especially if it's all. And of course, you know, if you're smart, Brent Venables, you can keep it all mysterious every week, right? Well, he might play.
Yeah,
he's questionable.
I mean, you know, the Texas timeline. That's basically 2.5 weeks. weeks. That feels
A little soon.
that feels unrealistic.
But South Carolina could be teetering on.
With 3.5 weeks, because we saw again, it's about a month. The first report said around 3 weeks. I think that's, and I'm being as respectful as I can. That was a first report from someone who I think was reporting with optimism on the brain, if you will, you know, of like, we need him back for Texas. So hey, about 3 weeks, and maybe so, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe so.
Everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if he heals fast, he really hits his workout where he doesn't overdo it and hurt it, but he kind of hits the foot on the gas and it looks better than they thought when they get in there. Maybe he does come back.
Well, you get in there, you know, and I don't know. I mean, they're going to screw it together probably, you know, and then sew him back up, and then all right, you can't move it for a week, and you probably have to fly back out to California, you know, sometime after the Kent State game next weekend, and
as long as there's no setbacks and
Doc
everything's
look
good,
at it, you know. So
sure, we'll see. But if you're South Carolina, you're almost we're going to prepare for that.
I would think he's back for South Carolina.
Feels like that.
Because Oklahoma is accustomed to competing for national championships. I thought you made a great point earlier that you get a mulligan in today's world, perhaps two. You know, and look, like I told you, I'm not convinced that if he can't play, they don't beat Texas.
Look, Texas has been very underwhelming so far this year. And it's not just Arch Manning.
Well, and you know what's been overwhelming?
Texas.
The Oklahoma defense.
Yeah, and I just have the feeling as good as Texas's defense is supposed to be this year, Oklahoma's defense has just been stupid all season.
Yeah.
I mean, ask Jackson Arnold. They just hit him again. He was sitting in his living room watching TV. They just knocked the hell out of him. They're really good. And, again, it's a different offense. Ben Arbuckle is, everybody talks about a high-level offensive mind, very quarterback-friendly offense. They haven't ran the ball well this year, but maybe you put Hawkins in there in an offense that, you maybe tweak the game plan to his skill set a little bit. Maybe you try to run the ball a little bit more than you have been this year because Mateer's been your leading rusher sometimes.
Well, again, you get an off week to worry about you, and then you're going to play a team that you could beat without a quarterback.
Right. I mean,
and I'm sorry, Kent State.
Not to be mean.
But you're going to go to Oklahoma and collect a homecoming paycheck.
And it's okay. You can pay for the equestrian team back. If you can get him ready for Texas, fine. If not, look, your defense is so good that your defense hopefully can hold you in that game if you can do enough on the offensive side.
Let the defense give a less than stellar, potentially a less than stellar offense more opportunities to do something.
And I was getting ready to say, Texas' offense has not been a juggernaut this year. And it's not just Arch. Remember, they replaced a lot of receivers, a lot of offensive linemen. That whole offense has had some struggles, including Arch. So maybe if your defense goes in there and overwhelms them and you keep the score low-ish and you can do enough on the offensive side of the ball, you can steal one at the State Fair.
Well, what was Ohio State, 14-7, right? So
I mean,
might be that kind of game.
Yeah. And, again, Oklahoma's defense is so good this year.
Have you told Langston we're coming to stay with him for that game yet?
We'll just show up. What's he going to do, not let us in?
It's not going to be him. It's going to be Mrs. Moore.
So you and I will be sitting in the car with the seats reclined going, we had a good plan.
Yeah,
what happened?
Langston, you did what?
Langston sitting in the car with us.
Right, exactly. We'll go back to the Omni. Anyway, all right. So, but pulling for John Mateer. And like I said, I it's a bummer because I'd like to see a kid like that come through here. So hopefully he does play, and even then you probably realize he won't be 100%. But again, that's one of the great things that's what I love about college football. Yeah, sure, I know who I'm pulling for, right? But I like it when other guys come through that you can see that are great.
And sometimes
we've seen Heisman winners come through here, man. Lots of them.
And a lot of times as a fan, your knee jerk is, I don't want their starting quarterback, I want their backup. But then sometimes you get their backup and you're like, wow, that sucked. Look how good the backup was. Or
well, I don't know. Look, I get it. I get both sides. I personally, from how I view sports, I think you can take a greater sense of pride and understanding in beating someone at their best.
You know what, with me, I think the younger version of me would root for that kind of goofy stuff because you thought it really made a difference. But I've gotten older, I'm like this. If he's healthy enough to play, he plays. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I'm not going to worry about it one way or another.
That's fair.
I'm not going to sit here and root for him not to play or what. Nah, I mean, just win. Just win the game.
All right.
That's the way I am anymore, man. Just win the game.
I get it. Finally, asked you in our drive around the SEC. Asked this yesterday, but I wanted to run it for a while because tonight we'll have the special on the SEC Network where we'll all find out who's playing who and where. Maybe not when, but other than the season, of course, the win. Tonight on the SEC Network for the 26 through 29 schedules. But I asked you for Gamecock fans, Georgia, Florida, Kentucky are the annual opponents. Are you good with these matchups? 77 points. We got like a minute left if you still want to vote and change these numbers. Hey, really, we have less than a minute. Sure, love it. 77.3. 19.2% say not my top choice. And just 3.5% of you said, nope, don't like it. That's too tough.
You, sir, love it.
I thought this would. Florida, I wasn't sure about. Georgia and Kentucky, I was almost certain about. I think it's great. I think it's great.
Look, I mean,
I'm here. I am absolutely here for this.
It would be Tennessee instead of Kentucky. Look, you got Georgia back, a border rival, a game that seems to matter to a lot of folks in this fan base, and Kentucky and South Carolina have a little thing back.
It's
and forth.
Thing. It's become a thing. I don't know what you want to call it.
Thing.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And you get Florida, and maybe at some point Florida will be Florida again. But if not, it's a winnable game right now.
And if you're wondering, again, a lot of this is competitive balance. It'll explain a lot of this tonight.
Sure.
And we'll go over a lot more of this tomorrow. The conference has sent us all a big printout on what this is going to look like. So we'll do a lot of it for you tomorrow. All right, we'll give you our start bench drop and a little Jay versus the Internet coming up.
Men's Clinic of South Carolina here for you. If you're a guy and you haven't been right, man. A lack of drive in life, the bedroom, the boardroom, the cube, the living room, whatever. You just don't feel like you anymore. Maybe you're not as strong at the gym. Maybe you don't bounce back from workouts like you used to. You don't sleep right. You can't remember anything. Hopefully you remember this conversation we're having. 803-875-MENS. Just call the Men's Clinic. Set up an appointment. Go in, see Dr. Dan and the staff. Tell them your story, how you're feeling. It might just be low testosterone. That's it. They'll do lab work. If it comes back low T, they'll put you on a program. This is the best part, specifically designed for you to get you back to feeling you again. Make the call. 803-875-MENS. Men's Clinic of South Carolina. It might just be low testosterone. Call the Men's Clinic. Find out for sure.
All right, welcome back in. I just noticed, hold on, if you're watching on YouTube, don't get scared. My camera's out of whack.
What'd you do? Did you break something?
No, I didn't break it. It's just from where I'm sitting, it was kind of off.
Showing your bad side?
I don't have a bad side.
You, as far as you know.
I look good. I just don't look.
Is that what we do?
Makes it easier. Who needs mirrors?
That's right.
Cameras,
You know how you
screens.
look.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
You don't look, you feel good.
I look fantastic.
Hey,
I'm in radio.
right, except for because my fantastic looks.
Yeah, I know what's up.
You know, Tara, I know you
Like
want.
Joey Scribbiani says, not just a hat rack, my
That's
friend.
right. Tara, you know, maybe after seeing you do that little screen test here at the TV station, maybe radio's your future.
Yeah, I did college television. That was about it. It was fun though, man. I had fun at the college TV station.
Oh.
Old WCFG TV, University of South Carolina, under the Coliseum.
I tell you, when you do a little TV for fun like that,
It was fun, man.
yeah, it was good times.
Good time. Yeah. Carolina sports. It was a good show. We had fun.
Had my little cool suit jacket on, man.
I did. I wore a tie and a coat. It was great. It was great.
You know what's funny? I couldn't tie a tie for crap, so I just leave my ties tied and hang them up on the door.
Oh.
I was never good at tying a tie back then.
Huh.
My dad drove a forklift for a living, Jay. He didn't really put a tie on much. They don't really require a suit and tie when you're driving the forklift.
No, I get that.
My dad did have ties. They were the old school clip-ons.
Oh, wow.
My dad had clip-on ties.
Hey, it looks good.
Yeah, my dad was not a fashionista.
Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, he just clipped that thing on, take it right back off.
Start bench drop today. Kick returns, pick six, punt return, all for touchdowns. Obviously, well, pick six, duh. But kick returns and punt returns. Man, a lot of y'all hit me. I'm gonna fly through these so we can still do some internet here. Steven, start, pick six, bench, kick return, cut, punt return. Our buddy Lou Bezak, start the kick return, bench the pick six, drop the punt. Gamecock lifer, start the pick six, especially when it is picked in the other end zone. Oh, yeah, okay. Bench the kick return, drop the punt return. Our buddy Mike Yuva says, start the pick six, bench the punt return, drop the kick. Franklin, start the pick six, bench the kick return, drop the punt. John says, start the pick six, bench the kick, drop the punt. I got a lot more. I'll retweet some of these for you.
All right, where are you going?
I am starting the pick six. I think the pick six is the most exciting play in football.
It's a cool play, no doubt.
And maybe I was influenced as a high schooler when Brad Edwards had a pick six against Clemson in 1987.
Pick six is very
In
cool.
fact, I will tell you that I was influenced by Brad Edwards, who had a pick six against Clemson in 1987. Then I'm going to bench the punt return. And I'll drop the kick return. There's something about a punt return that's just like that guy against the world that's different with a kick return. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm starting the punt return.
Yeah.
Same thing. You're back there, man. You're fielding this thing. It sounds like a herd of water buffalo are running down the field, and you got to catch it, and you got to navigate and make guys miss and break tackles. Someone knocks the snot out of you.
Yeah.
I think the punt return for a touchdown is one of the coolest plays in football.
Yeah.
I am going to bench the pick six because I'm like you. I think a pick six is a phenomenal momentum changer and everything. I do love a good kickoff
Sure,
return,
I like a
but
kick
I'm
return.
going to drop that one. This was actually a tough one for
Yeah.
you, sir.
Yeah.
Very nice job by
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's fly. Let's see if we can fly through these.
All right, this is real quick. This is very simple and very easy.
Okay.
Who wins tonight?
Okay.
A lot on the line in these baseball games for
Yep.
playoff positioning.
Okay.
Astros, who are trying to choke themselves out of the playoffs, are in Sacramento to play the A's.
Just give me the A's because I'm just pulling against the Astros.
Mets are at the Cubs. Mets are trying to choke their way out of the playoffs.
Give me the Cubs, man.
Reds are hosting the Pirates. The Reds are trying to take the
Go
Mets
Reds.
spot.
Go Reds. Pulling for the Reds.
So there you go. By the way, I want you to know that you are now even with the internet, sir. It only took how long?
All year and then some. Now, we've been doing this since the spring?
A little bit, yeah.
Since the spring?
Nice job by you. You finally made it back. Tonight you'll probably choke
Hey, I
the
was
whole
8
thing
under
up.
at one point.
I know.
I'm like the Braves.
That's right. You're on a run,
Huh?
baby.
Huh? Do it all again tomorrow. See y'all.
You know, we talk about CHW cabinetry a lot, and we talk about the quality of the cabinetry and the quality of the work. And, you know, the photorealistic renderings will exactly show you, you know, the space and how this whole thing is going to go step by step. All that's really important. But you know what's more important is customer service and going to people who care about doing the job right for you because they want you to come back over and over and over again. Not like that place that, you know, kind of hoses you over and you know, gets your money and really doesn't deliver, because you never go back to them again, right? Well, Star and, you know, her crew want you to come back over and over, and they want your families and your neighbors and your friends to come back. Customer service is top drawer. Jen Jensen was even happy, and no one makes her happy. So call 803-520-6837. Just go in and talk with Star and the folks at CHW Cabinetry, 803-520-6837. Quality cabinets, quality customer service. Check on the traffic accidents. We have a few. I-126 westbound at Greystone Boulevard. Fish Hatchery Road at Pine Ridge Drive. Garner's Ferry Road near Highway 769, Congaree Road, by the way. Hardscrabble Road at Summit Parkway. Hope Ferry Road at Midway Road. I-26 westbound at US 21 176. That's exit 119. North Lake Drive near Columbia Avenue, Two Notch Road at South Lake Drive. our final check on the traffic here on the post-game show before we get to best of the game, which is coming up next. Traffic situation, we have our share of accidents. 2 Notch Road at South Lake Drive. North Lake Drive at Columbia Avenue. I-26 westbound at US 21 and US 176. That's exit 119. Hope Ferry Road at Midway. Hardscrabble Road near Summit Parkway. Garner's Ferry Road near Congaree. Fish Hatchery Road at Pine Ridge Drive. And I-126 westbound at Greystone Boulevard. Those are the accidents right now on the roadways. Best of the game is coming up next. Here on 107.5 The Game.